Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a quick reading. I just wanted to pop in. I feel like there's some relevance in something that I see sometimes when I communicate with one of my specific guides, and that's why I, as many people are, if they do these things, they tend to be picky of who and what they communicate with, because when I see specific guides, I see like a clear vision of them, as if when I close my eyes I could see exactly who they are, and some of them there's more familiarity, as in being relatives. So one of them is a late uncle, not the uncle that lived with us when I was living in the childhood home, but the one that was married to my mom's older sister, and even until he passed away, because he passed away a couple of years ago, he didn't date or get remarried or did any of that. He was also an orphan too before. So I was more of the favorite in that area, and I usually don't have that, so I feel like that was specific. And he is one of the beings that I could see clearly or communicate clearly with, and I do see somebody as if I could see them, if it's real life, and it's almost as if you could see them as regular living beings. So I sometimes ask, and one of the things is like, what should I do in terms of these types of readings? And I keep getting a vision, and the uncle smiles. Before that, when I call upon the guide, they're already usually smiling, or there's some clear distinction with them, so I know who I'm talking to. And then when asking what I do with these readings, he smiles, but then when he smiles there's no teeth, and I keep getting that over and over again. So I feel like there is some type of specific thing that I have to interpret with that, and I feel like it has to do with communication, not necessarily with him, but in general. And I felt like it was relevant to this video. It feels like as if when you have baby teeth and then you keep trying to wiggle the tooth until it releases itself, and that's another thing that was popping up right before I started filming. So I feel like there's some type of connection there, and those are specific because there are different interpretations that you can get with like teeth, like no teeth, teeth falling out, teeth in general, like if you're talking about dream interpretation or just meanings in general. So you have the Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups. I feel like there is a placement here that, and it could also be if maybe you've taken an exam and then it places you somewhere. It almost feels like that energy too, because I do have the Ace of Pentacles here with the Emperor. I feel like those go together. And for this reading, I didn't show all the cards, but I feel like that's another saying for this reading too, showing all the cards. With things revealing itself, there are multiple knights in this reading. The only one that's not here is the Knight of Wands, which, since the Emperor's here, I don't think that's a bad thing. The Emperor does represent all of the kings. So with all the knights here, that feels like there's some movement it's as if like the tooth is finally loosened and it releases. That's the type of energy that I feel like it's in, because there was a stagnant energy before, and now it seems like a crowd has gathered for this. And even with releasing certain teeth too, like you have multiple beings in the Ace of Pentacles, and although with the Three of Cups there's less beings, I feel like there's some things that are being taken out so that other things can be placed in. So as maybe like some type of law of the universe, just generally saying that you let go of one energy so another energy can go in. And sometimes when you move forward, you can't bring certain things forward because it's not something that's necessary, or it's something that might be outdated. But with the cap, it's like in the Emperor card, because I see, hats and everything and hoods. Like there's something like a thinking cap, and even waving the flag, not out of, to say a loss, but out of like a victory. And that could be more of like a universal type of energy too, or nation, that type of energy. You have the Knight of Swords, and it has a specific memory, specifically just because with the Joker card, I'll put those here too. With the cigarette, it's specific because it kind of feels like a slow burn. You know, when a cigarette is lit, or a cigar or something, and it takes a while for it to completely burn. And for some reason, like different areas, there's different prices. Like in certain areas of the US, depending on where it was manufactured, it could be more inexpensive, and then more expensive as you move away from the distributor. Also with the Knight of Swords, you see all the scribbles in the background. It kind of feels like, again, a slow burn, as if the Knight of Swords is like ready to just go into whatever situation, moment there is. It's like ready as soon as like the gun like in a race, like when the gun goes off, that's what it feels like with the Knight of Pentacles. He's just ready to like gun it. But there's just like a patience there. And with that communication, with the cigarette too, it's like it could be slow communication or slow movement, slow messages, slow reactions. There's just some type of interaction that is just methodical. But with the memory of like a cigarette, for me, I've only had a cigarette like once in my life, and it wasn't even like anything like, because someone gave me a cigarette. It was already, smoking, but for some reason I was like, yeah, I could do this. And then I smoke it like the opposite side from where you're supposed to take it. And after that, like, I just never did anything with it. But I guess there just wasn't that type of connection with that thing, but there could be that emergence of those types of situations that you think you know what you're doing and then you clearly don't. And that's what the world just kind of tries to teach you, even with the Emperor energy too. This could even be like paternal type of energy where for anybody like that might be more experienced or ahead or know more of this energy, even though it's not like a high priestess card, but even like if foreseer or somebody that already knows. And it could even be like a person that has already experienced this, and it's like, trust me, you might want to do it this way or you might not want to do this type of energy. And there might be like some type of response to that, and hopefully with the Knight of Swords, since, well, there's other knights here too, it might be reciprocated better because you have the Knight of Cups here with the Eight of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups in this, it kind of feels like the horse has finally got into water to drink. You know what that's saying? And it's that patience too. Like, you're not going to force them away from it. And honestly, like, why would you? Because, well, if it's whatever situation, but if something is malnourished, it's good to get your energy up, or it's good to prepare. Because again, with that experience with the cigarette, for me, it's like, clearly you don't know. Like, you just don't know, and you're trying to move forward, but obviously maybe the world or somebody is trying to prepare you so you're not like completely in the dark or like dumbfounded when you get into the situation. You really have to just play it by ear at that point because you came ill prepared. So with the Knight of Cups, there could be that nourishment there and trying to even heal certain things too. And you see that pot that has a crack in it. Then the last cards, the Hierophant with Hierophant, Major Arcana, Emperor, Major Arcana, is the Hierophant and Knight of Pentacles. This feels with the Knight, I'm sorry, I'm seeing if there's another Major Arcana that I didn't mention. A lot of studies or training with the Knight of Pentacles, and the hours don't end there, because with the pages, sometimes they're seen more as students. It's so, it again, specific to the reading, but it really feels like hours that are being put into this. And it's like, kind of with the Hierophant, with it being linked to the higher power, it could be linking to, I have that certain enlightenment, or I have that source of maybe faith that comes out of this, that I feel like I am going to do it and I will do it. And there's maybe reasons that unfold along the lines when you're learning and finding new techniques and approaches to things, in case, you know, things go right, and in case things go completely haywire. There could be plans A through Z and different other scenarios that maybe you aren't prepared for, and maybe you, once you get to that point, you still aren't prepared for, but at least with this training time, it gives you more of a perspective and maybe a better idea of how to be in that position if you have to be on your feet and think quickly and do something quickly. Even though the Knight of Pentacles isn't necessarily the quick card, but you have the other knights here too. that influence that. So I feel like there's some type of victory upon this, because there's like the flags just like waving up in the air type of situation, and even with the Knight of Pentacles. So, and especially in the Emperor card. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.